Hey, what's up, friends? Welcome back to a new episode of the Kevysie Fate podcast, where I am your host, Kevin Davis. This podcast, we talk about mental health, we talk about healing, and whatever else you're going through in life. This is a safe space where you can just be open and just be you. And today's guest, I get to meet a good friend of mine, Mr. Otis Dreds. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, Kevin. How you doing? Before we get started, I just wanted to say thank you for allowing me to hop on your platform here to take and talk about this. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. I saw your post on Facebook saying you was looking for like a mental health podcast. I was like, hey, I'm free this month. You got like, I'm like, I got some time this month. I was like, right now, I like talking to people about mental health, especially it's a very heavy topic, and I don't think it's really talked about enough.
No,
And that's real.
yeah, I agree. I mean, we see a lot of groups on Facebook and such getting,
Uh,
I have one of them getting awareness out, trying to educate people. Because I believe that's one of the biggest things I think we can do is educate and open discussion. If you
oh yeah.
can't have an open discussion about mental health,
Hmm.
well, it's not really gonna go anywhere. We have to get, and there's a lot of shame and stigma associated with it. So
Oh yeah.
that's
Oh yeah.
that's a hump to get over, with getting out there and talking about it. I'm very open about mine. Um, there was a time when I was shameful and whatnot, but I became very open. Um, I'm not ashamed of what I've gone through. I'm here. I'm still standing,
Heck yeah, brother. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, there's nothing I'm ashamed of. And this time of year is very, very difficult for a lot of us. Um, I wanted to touch on that a lot of us are gonna have a hard time at family gatherings and such. Don't feel bad if you're having a hard time. Don't feel bad about maybe not getting involved or
Mhm.
just maybe taking yourself, out of that situation. Yes, it's tradition. Everybody wants to spend time with your family, but your mental health and your well-being is a lot more important than a
Mhm.
holiday. I know it's
Oh
one of
yeah.
the big ones, it's
Oh yeah.
Christmas and everybody, but some of us have hard times. And even if you get along good with your family,
Oh yeah.
I lost, my mom and my grandfather in December over the years. So it's
Oh
hard for me
man.
there. And that plays a little bit, on you. So it could be something like that. But please don't be ashamed to, take yourself out of the festivities if you're feeling not up to being around anybody. Don't feel
Mhm.
bad about that. Um yeah, I've had to do that. I had to do that a couple of years ago. My anxiety was through the roof. You got to take me back. I'm sorry, but I was just feeling like I can't be here. I can't be here. So,
Oh yeah.
it happens, but if you can make it through, I hope everybody has a great holiday. 4 more days left, man, and then this is all over and we can try to get back to some kind of a normal life.
Normal. What's normal anymore?
Yeah, you got that right.
Man, heck yeah. I'm in the same opinion, and because you can't force nobody to open up if they're not ready to. Like,
No,
especially
no,
for
yeah,
for
that's
me,
yeah.
yeah, especially for me, for example, it took me a while to even open up about my feelings because I didn't really know how to. I'm gonna just deep dive into my story. Growing up, I was an angry kid. I was filled with anger, hatred, anxiety, um, so many emotions. I didn't know what the hell to call them. And that's literally because I grew up in a house full of women, the only male in my house. and I didn't have a full-time male figure around me. And so I was this very confused kid, wondering, it was like, what am I here for? Like, what is, like, why am I on this earth? Why am I the only male here? And I was like, my God, why did you put me here? Like, why? I felt purposeless. And I grew around, I went around like the wrong crowds where people were smoking, doing some drugs, drinking, legit shoplifted when I was a kid. I stole from my family, trying to impress some girl I didn't even freaking know. Like, what the crap? What the heck am I doing trying to impress some girl I don't even know? I haven't even met. I was just trying to do something just to fit in, just to simply fit in. And that was in middle school when I actually almost went to jail. But the police officer, by the grace of God, said that he's tired of putting boys like me in jail especially over simple acts like that. And he's tired of seeing people like us go down this path of devastation, basically, potentially ruin our lives. And so he gave me off a warning, and he made sure that he watch over me in my neighborhood, make sure I was still good, and he actually kept his word. He kept his word. He drove by the house just to make sure I'm good and everything. Graduation came, the cop was actually there, and he saw me with my suit on and looking clean, looking fresh. And he said, "Oh, so you done cleaned up now, I see, young boy." He said, "That's what I'm talking about." I was like, "Yes, sir. I listened to everything you said. I'm not going to go down that path, like at all." It's like, cause there have been way too many people like me that's been getting caught up in this mess. And and growing up without a full flash father figure, I was confused on like what is a man? Like how is a man supposed to be? How is a man supposed to walk or talk or basically what is manhood? And I had this imagination thinking that my mother loved my sister more than me, and because I felt like she was doing more for her than me, but it wasn't the truth because she was actually doing a lot for both of us. The only difference is my sister was more outgoing than I was. So of course, like she was doing more for her because my sister was in more activities. I barely was in anything because I chose not to. And I was like, I am very introverted, and I'm still am, but I am more open a bit more now as a grown up. And so I didn't know what I liked. I just kind of just I don't know what just how to say it. Oh, I just kind of like flipped around, just try to see what I like or what I want to do with my life. I don't know. I was just bouncing around, and um, I played a little football in elementary school. It wasn't professional football. Like we didn't have a football team. We were just like on the playground having fun. I thought that was cool. Maybe I'll be a football player. I got bored with it. Played a little basketball. I got bored with it. It's like this doesn't spark the fire in me. It like want to get into something. You know what I mean? And man, it's been such a journey, and there's been times I got so deep deep thoughted. Not just a word, but it's now.
It is now, yeah.
But I got like so deep in my emotions that I had those type of thoughts that I wanted to end it all. I don't. My family didn't know because I didn't tell them. I tried to hide. I legit tried to hide it, and I legit thought about doing it. And but it was like something in me is like, don't do it, don't do it.
Mhm.
It's like God is like tugging at my heart. Is like, no, no, no. And it was around high school, um, when I kind of found my purpose. It was my summer camp at Bridge Builders. That's called Bridge Builders here, called Bridges USA, which is a nonprofit organization that does leadership camps and like community events all year round.
Mhm.
That help teach kids to get out their comfort zone and work as a team, how to become a leader of your community. and learn how to basically clean up your community and do something that other people not are not willing to do. And so being at Bridge Builders, that's what started kind of getting that spark I kind of was looking for or didn't know I was looking for or didn't know that was there. And Bridge Builders it became like my second home because when I was terrified out of my mind. I didn't know who these people were. But my sister was a Bridge Builder before me. She told me about it. She walked me through it. And she encouraged me, said that don't be nervous. It's going to be fine. They're going to take good care of you. And they absolutely did. And I went Bridgeport every summer in high school from ninth grade to 12th grade. And that's when I started finding my purpose that I want to help people. And I want to give back to my community and be like that light in this such a crazy dark world. And and it's like, now the next question is like, I'm like, but how can I do that? Can I start? I'm like, where can I start to get that? If shoot, get that stepping stone of how to start helping others.
Right, right.
And so every year I sign up for different events, like cleaning downtown, cleaning the streets of downtown. That's randomly helping people, like in stores or well, like one, a couple months back, my sister and I went to we went out and ate at a small restaurant chicken place. It's not just chicken place. It's just what we mainly go for. And I saw this woman that she was struggling or like getting her organ to her car, and I just looked up and was like, she need help. She need help. And my sister was in mid conversation. I was like, hold that thought. I need to help her right quick. I didn't hesitate. I was like, I walked up to her. I was like, would you like some help? And the spark of that woman's face made my day because she was very grateful that somebody was actually saw and actually helped her to her car and with everything.
Acts of kindness are like a superpower, man.
Mm,
Not a lot of people have it. Not a
oh
lot of
yeah.
people do it, and I don't think that people really realize what that can do for somebody. You
Oh
know, I
yeah.
mean, you
Oh yeah.
saw it in the woman's eyes because people are shocked. It's almost like they don't wanna talk to you because they're not used to other people coming up, "Hey, can I
Yep.
get that for you?" You know,
Hmm.
blah, 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 and
Oh yeah.
it's like a superpower nowadays,
Oh yeah.
but, you know, and when times like that where not a lot of people are doing what you did to stop everything, go help somebody or whatever the case may be,
Hmm.
um, you know, you're showing people by example, like, this is what you should be doing, you know? Uh, to be when I was growing up, man, it was very community oriented. All the neighbors would sit outside and talk, and there was a lot of that going on. Not now. I mean, you don't have to
Hmm.
go out to go watch a movie. You don't have to, go out to do a lot of things. You can sit inside. There was no Uber, there was no DoorDash back then, so you were getting up and going to a restaurant. Um, so yeah, I mean, and that's great. I guess I'll give a quick rundown on my story. I am a little bit old. I'm a 70s baby, 72. So things obviously were a lot different back then. Not a lot of knowledge on mental health. I don't remember even hearing about people with mental illness until I was like in high school. And I started being afflicted with things I didn't understand, just like yourself. I think that's very common. I spoke on another podcast and
Yeah.
one of the hosts, his son was going through some things. Young man, 13 years old, he's going through
Oh
some
my
stuff,
God.
and he said he doesn't understand what's going on.
Mhm.
And that's a big thing, just like you said, you had no idea how to express these emotions, you had no idea how to come across to somebody to even get help, to even explain it to somebody is extremely hard because you don't understand what's going on.
Mhm.
Um, and that was I had a pretty traumatic event in my childhood when I was 11. I had some molestation that happened. That kind of really started my downfall. Um, as you can imagine, something that tragic. I dissociate, I mean, at the slightest little bit of stress, and that's just my body still reacting to something that happened 42 years ago. This is how important
Wow.
mental health is. Mental health
Wow.
doesn't just sit up here. It
Mhm.
sits
It's
all
not.
through your nervous system. That's
Yeah.
why some people are in constant, you have vets who coming back with PTSD, and, it sits in them.
Mhm.
It's in anybody. I have complex PTSD, which is ongoing trauma versus maybe one or two traumatic events. Mine was long term over the course of the year or years.
Wow.
But yeah, so it got to a point I came out about what happened when I was like 13. Um and by 15 I was going the self-harm route. And just like I was saying, we don't know how to at a teenage or a preteen, you don't know how to
Mhm.
express what the hell's going on.
Oh yeah.
Um, and I went to my mom. What I was doing was I was taking a steak knife and I'd hold my finger out like that and I'd just sit and beat the inside of my finger with the blade of the steak knife. A very
Wow.
unusual way, but I wasn't even thinking about my arms or anything. I walked down, again, had no idea why I was doing this. Walked down to my mom, I said, "Mom, look what I'm doing." Hoping she would have an answer. Again, this was, in the mid 80s, to late 80s, and she had no idea. We gotta get you to a hospital. We gotta get you talking to somebody. Yeah, I'd say so because I have no idea what's going on here.
Mhm.
I'm getting, down. I'm not understanding why.
Mhm.
And it really does go back a lot to childhood trauma. You have childhood trauma, 9 times out of 10, you're dealing with some issues, or
Right.
you have and you've worked through them, or whatever the case may be. But I went to a therapist and they told my mom that no, he's dealing with this just fine. He's dealing with it okay. This was actually before the cutting,
Okay.
before the finger incident. Yeah, he's dealing with it just fine. I don't think anything's going on. Okay, my mom didn't know any better. She didn't understand what something like that would do. Um, so it went undealt with.
Mm.
About 17 or so, I'm still partying, I'm still cutting. This time I moved up to my arms, which is a big reason I got all these tattoos is to deter myself.
Wow.
I don't want to cut through my tattoos, so
Yeah.
and it's kind of helped. But I mean 99% it helps with, not doing. So that was the self-mutilation was a ongoing thing, throughout, um, my teen years, my early teen years. It was about 17, I was diagnosed, with bipolar, manic depressive. I think there was PTSD in there, none of which, exactly none of which are exactly what I was diagnosed with later. Um,
Wow.
and that's a big issue in, the mental health system. There's a lot of misdiagnosis that yet
Yeah.
there's a lot between certain disorders, such as what I'm diagnosed now with borderline personality disorder, complex post-traumatic disorder, and major depressive disorder. So some of those are kind of on point with what they said, but the bipolar was a misdiagnosis for the borderline. Borderline and the complex post-traumatic are really the two that that take and rear their ugly head the most. Um, I have depressive disorders, but I am taking medication. Even through all of that, my alcohol intake went up. I felt much better not feeling. To not feel was how I wanted to feel. And I had no idea what was really going on. So I didn't understand what I was actually covering up. I just knew it was like your subconscious knows that, hey, you need to do something. You got these underlining feelings. And it was like I instinctively would just go drugs, alcohol, just, whatever. Yeah, that was a temporary relief, sure, but it created alcoholism. I've been sober for 2.5 years now, and then,
Wow. Congratulations. That's
thank you,
amazing.
brother, thank you. And it
Proud
took
of you,
a
brother. That's
trip to
amazing.
a psych unit to get that started. Um, my
But you're still going though, brother. I'm proud of you, man.
yeah, I still did it. There was a lot of times where my wife probably should have left me. She didn't. She saw, like a lot of people saw, that, hey man, you get cleaned up a little bit, you got a lot of potential. You could do a lot of things. And life was just beating me down, and then pouring drinks on top of it, and none of what I was diagnosed with was treated. And so this is all undealt with mental illness for 30, 40 years. I was finally diagnosed with BPD, which should have set me on the right path to get some DBT, which is dialectical behavioral therapy. It's just
Okay.
psychotherapy, and then CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I should have been on that therapy regimen when I was like 26, because that was when I was diagnosed, 26, 27, with borderline.
Gotcha.
And it was actually diagnosed as borderline schizophrenic. I'm like, what the hell? Am I on the verge of just like seeing things? What's going on? I had no idea. I wasn't really educated on schizophrenia, and what it basically was I fit the criteria for borderline personality disorder, but there's also schizophrenic traits. Now I know a lot of people, because of the stigma, a lot of people are like, oh, so you're kind of on the verge of seeing things, or you know because they associate schizophrenia with just crazy people talking to themselves, or whatever, and
Yeah,
it's so
it's
far
much
from the.
deeper. It's much deeper than that. It's
Yeah, no, it
much
it it
deeper than that.
it really is, and, you could have somebody at work that has schizophrenia, and you never know it. You
Yep,
never know it,
exactly.
because there's
Exactly.
levels to it, just like there's
Oh yeah.
levels to depression, levels to anxiety, it's the same
Yep.
thing.
Thank you. Exactly. Yes.
So,
Yes.
and a lot of these mental disorders, they take an overlap, so with their symptoms. That I give the, mental health community that one.
Yeah,
There because they overlap, there is misdiagnosis.
yeah,
So, that I got, with my little trip to the psych unit because for the first time I had a plan. I had a plan to do it. I had never had a plan before. I'd never come up with one. I had a plan and I told my wife and my kids, it's like, I got to do something or else this is going to happen. I'm telling you, it was like my mind was dead set on this. And they're like, fine, all right, you got to make the call. That phone's never been so heavy in my life. It is amazing how heavy the phone gets when you go to pick up to try and get help for mental health and substance abuse. The phone gets very heavy. It's, you just, no, la di da. Nope, don't work that way. It's like, what,
yeah, yeah.
uh, but I did it. And,
It's it's
I
yeah.
got put on,
Sometimes it's hard to ask for help. It really is. It gets hard to ask for help sometimes.
yeah, yeah, no, it really does. I got put on the right type of medication, um, and the right combination, and that's been going great. And, the sobriety is I told my wife years ago, if I could take care of my mental health, uh, the drinking is not gonna be an issue. And I was right. I had no withdrawals. I had no, DTs or whatever. I wasn't shaking. Nothing. It was just like I never drank. Of course, every once in a while, it gets stressful. Man, I like to have a beer right about now. But I realize where that's gonna take me, and if you're aware of where that could take you, for me, it was not a good place. If I was to drink right now, if I was to drink tonight, I'd be in divorce court tomorrow morning. I don't, yeah, it wasn't a very good drunk, but, so, yeah, and that kind of, and I was the same way. This is the point I wanted to make. I was the same way as you were. I had no idea what I was going to do with my life. No idea.
Yeah.
Even up until a handful of years ago. I had no idea what I was gonna do. I had a lot of things I would have liked to have done, but I had no idea where my life was gonna take me. At that point, I was just along for the ride. Um,
It's funny.
and
It's
Go
when I
ahead.
was a oh sorry.
No, no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's when I was a kid. I remember vaguely. I remember saying I once like a garbage man when I grew up. Um, I don't um I don't remember everything I said, but no, I remember that for some odd reason. So I want to be like a garbage man, and then growing up, I was like, I don't know what the hell I want to be.
Yeah. No, oh,
Um,
man, yeah,
because
when I was, like,
I
12, I had
yeah,
all kinds of ideas. I
I
wanted
was
to be
like
a Marine, I wanted to play baseball, I wanted to do everything, man.
yeah, I hear people my classmates saying they want to be they're gonna be in business, they're gonna be a basketball player, they're gonna be a doctor, a real estate agent. I'm just like, I don't know. I really don't know. But it was high school is actually when I actually found out my passion, that I'm a writer. Um, it was the first, it was in our African American history class. It was our very first paper because my teacher wanted to test us and grade us from like on from a level to 1 to 5. One is like you need a lot of help, you're not there yet. Three is like you're there, but I want to push you to that more professional level to a 5. First paper we did it, I was like, oh fuck, I hate writing. I was like, freaking hate writing with passion. But my teacher gave me my paper. He told me that I was a level 3. And he says, Kevin, you have a gift of writing. It's so beautiful, but I want to push you higher to that professional level of writing as we go. I was like, me?
Yeah.
It's like me, and that's also when I found out my mom was also a writer because she actually wrote her first murder mystery book, uh, and she let me read it before she publishes it, and she's revamping it right now. Dude, when I tell you I could not put that book down for the life of me. It was so detailed and so well written. Then she showed me, she allowed me to read some poetry she wrote for me and my sister, and how she expressed her love for us. I was like, I wasn't planning to cry that day, but
Yeah.
damn it, mother.
Yeah, but here we are, tissues and all. Thanks.
Right. And then that's when I really started falling in love with poetry and journaling and writing in general. And then I was like, huh. I want to do this. I want to see what story can I tell in poetry, or what horror story can I tell? Because I'm a big horror fantasy fan.
Hmm.
That's actually really my strong suit is writing horror and fantasy. Once I started actually deep diving into writing, and I'm a huge nerd. I watched literally everything from drama, romance, comedy, fantasy, horror, science fiction, anything that catches my attention, I watch it. I don't care how stupid it may be, I'm gonna watch it. And so I fell in love with writing, and one of the God, props to my mom. One of the things my mom always said that if you think about it, the thing you hate the most, you're actually really good at. And I hated writing the most. Of course, I brushed it off for a while until I found out she was right. Um, and so yeah, I'm a big Marvel, DC fan as well, and I didn't even know they were comic books before they were movies and TV shows.
Mm.
Because I didn't grow up on reading comics. I didn't know comics were a thing. I read novels like Harry Potter, Percy Jackson, Narnia, even Christian novels or whatever other novel that was known to man that I had at the library. Well, I never knew about comics. I knew about Marvel and DC because of their movies and TV shows.
Hmm.
And if COVID hit, and throughout 2020, I didn't want to sit around the house watching TV all the time because media really messes your head, and having that too much media in your head, it just really just, ugh, it's annoying.
Yes.
Um, so I got on TikTok for a little bit. I started TikTok around, well, actually, I started TikTok around 2018, but I wasn't fully active until around 2020. And so that's 2020. I found out about comic books, like Marvel, like um, random Marvel videos that came up on my TikTok talking about comics, and you kind of like, wait, what is this? What the hell is this? Like, what the heck is that? Like, what should be in comics? I know the movies and shows, and then I see like different type of creatives talking about this character is based off this character in this comic. And I'm like, wait, these characters are from something else? Like, what in the world? And so I went to the Marvel website and I kind of like checked out like their digital property comics because I'm like, I'm not gonna buy the physical because I don't know if I'm gonna like it. So I'm about to spend a little bit bucks to buy the digital rather than buying like another to buy physical. And so of course I had to go to Spider-Man. That's one of my all-time favorites, is Spider-Man. Then I went to Captain America because Captain America is one of my big inspirations as a man and as a human being because I love the message of Captain America and how he fights and how he leads. And I went to Thor, Black Panther, um, then Wonder Woman on DC side, and some whatever else has popped up. I just checked it out, and then I found out about independent comics when I found out about this company Black Sands Entertainment or Dark Horse, Image Comics, where indie creatives publish their comics with Image and IDW, and I found out that IDW publishes like Sonic comics or Teenage Ninja Turtle comics. I was like, dude, I freaking love those too. They're another property too. Like, what the crap? I mean, how the hell have I been missing this? Like, where the hell have I been my entire life? And dude, when I tell you that's 2020 is like one of my best years ever because that's when I actually started learning my purpose in life. And that's when I really started getting excited about where am I going. And so I was like, I spent a few years studying like the aspect of comics, like how do they write these? How do they what is production of comics? How do you do this?
Yeah.
And I started like a good 2.5 years studying comic scripts. So how you supposed to write them, and I interview artists to see like to get the vibe and everything, and see how you price stuff and how you budget. And from there, I've been starting to get like the business mindset and go, which I never knew I wanted to do business whatsoever. It wasn't an interest to me until I started having to do some business type of tactics. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
And so I was like, and then I was like, okay, so if I get this comic done, how do I publish it? Like, do I go to an established publisher and see if they accept it? But then I hear so many stories about how people get like mistreated at these publishers. I'm like, no. And then I was like, I'll publish it myself. Plus, I don't trust people. I guess you could say I'm a control freak because I like to do stuff on my own. And so I started my own publishing company called Kevysie Fate. So I spent a couple years building it, and now she launched the LLC this year, 2025, earlier this year.
That's awesome.
Thank you. And and I actually produced my first comic, Arcfire. The first issue came out last year, 2024. I just released issue two, and I'm working on issue three and four. And I also working on other comic series that's out the top of my head because if you can see my laptop, I have like a lot of scripts that's open in in my tab. I mean, I tell like 100, 200 scripts of comics that I'm working on. Like I literally have it in my tab now. Since being in this industry, people every time I make a post, it's like people's like, dude, how many stuff you got going on? Because I just saw you made a post about this project. And it's like, dude, how many posts you got? 1,000? I'm like, not yet, just about 200 something. It's like, dude, do you sleep? I got better at
Yeah,
it.
right.
Like, cause literally when I first started, I was like up 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning, writing stuff down and like, getting them out of my head. Cause I have like so many ideas of stories I'm going to tell and I'm
Right.
wanting to tell, and like my brain just keep going. And then on the business aspect, I'm also creating another business at the same time as also working on publishing. So I was like that's why people say like, dude, you're a go-giver because you don't stop whatsoever because I showed my shoe designs that I made, logos I've made, my shirts, my jackets, and a lot of stuff I made. And I was like, dude, how do you have time for all of this? I was like, time management.
Yeah,
Like time management. I
I
was like,
mean, yeah, basically, yeah, no, that's a lot going on. Um, yeah, I had no idea what I was gonna do up until probably, about the beginning of my sobriety. So about
mhm,
2.5, 3 years ago, I had no idea what I was gonna do. Here I am, at the time, 50, 51 years old. I have no idea what I'm gonna do. 3/4 of my life is gone. And I'm just now thinking, what would I want to do with my life? You know? But little positive, message here to the viewers is that I had no idea what I was gonna do. But I still managed to do something. I just, you just I just kinda rode the wave, you know?
yeah,
Don't push yourself. I've been listening to a lot of, I guess you call it Buddhism,
mhm.
Buddha and all and their
Buddha,
philosophies.
Buddhism,
Yeah,
Buddhism,
yeah,
yeah,
it
Buddhism, yeah.
didn't sound right in my head for some reason. And that there's a lot of really good things to take from their principles. One
Oh yeah,
being, let it flow. Don't try to force life. Don't try to force your future or force things to
exactly,
happen.
exactly.
You just kind of ride it.
Kinda.
You
Yep.
you are only the only you have no future. The future doesn't exist if you really think about it. You only have right now, right this very
Yeah,
second.
because you write your story.
Yeah, you are in you know, you are present. You are in this moment, which they call mindful, another skill that they teach you for, a lot of PTSD and a lot of
Hmm.
borderlines. They teach you be mindful, stay in the moment because once you go out of the moment, start worrying about back here, start worrying about what's up ahead of you.
Yep.
That's where things get all discombobulated, you
Oh
know.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah, you definitely don't want to do that. But it was where, since I was 17, I always wanted to be in radio. That was some Good Morning Vietnam with Robin Williams in it. Came out in like 87. So from the time I was 15, I loved morning shows, all the bells and whistles that they do and all the joking. I thought, man, what a great job that would be. Sit behind a mic and make jokes for,
Heck
three,
yeah.
4 hours. I'm not even
Yeah.
funny, but I'd give it a shot. Um, so, I that didn't really work out, but then came podcast.
Mm.
Like, whoa, well, this is kind of like radio. I don't have to go to school for this. I don't,
Nope.
I
Like
don't have to go in
anybody can
debt.
start a podcast.
Yeah. And so I did. I started a podcast. And it's weird how, when you start doing something, you have no idea what you want to do. And then you do something like you yourself with the writing. You're like, holy crap, I'm good at this. But it's not something I really like doing, but I'm really good at it.
I love it now
Yeah.
because I can get my thoughts out.
Right, right. After years, of doing it. Yeah. Um,
But that's the other thing. Well, with writing became my therapy. It helped with my anger.
absolutely.
Because back to when I said I was growing up with a lot of anger, depression, everything. That was something like I punched a wall to try to get my anger out, which only made me more angry. And
Yeah, because your hand
my
hurt.
I didn't even feel the pain. That's the thing. I didn't feel the
Yeah,
pain.
yeah.
My mother had set me down. She said, "Boy, grab a journal and write your thoughts out." And she said, "I ain't raising no narcissistic, toxic man in this household.
Mhm,
If you want to be that, get out of my house." Is what she told me.
mhm.
But I'm raising a real man that's actually going to treat people right, especially, as she said, especially someday you're going to be a husband, and I'm not going to allow a woman to come to me about how bad my son is
Yeah,
or how bad he's treating her. So I understand she told me you're going to sit in this room until you figure out what you're going to do. And I sat in my room. I looked at that notebook for a good, I don't know, 30 minutes to an hour probably. And then I finally was like, I'll grab it. I grab it. And that's when I started just, I don't know what to write because I don't know how to articulate myself. Like, I don't know what words to use. So sometimes I kind of sketched a drawing. I drew a little bit. I drew like skulls because I was in a dark place. So I drew like skulls and stuff. And then I started drawing like a guitar randomly or a car. And then I was like, my brain was like, do this, do that, do because my brain was starting to like get out a different, getting what's the word? Getting in a different motion. I think you muted. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, kind of an outlet,
yeah, that's the word. Thank
to
you. That's
get
the word.
all of that out.
Yes, yes. And then reading her book and her poetry, I started writing my poetry. One of my first I can't speak English, Jesus. One of my first poems I wrote was called Fatherless, and I wrote down how I felt about being fatherless because I didn't have a full-time father. I had like father figures around, but they wasn't full-time around. So I was like fatherless, and I explained how I felt. Um, but at the end of the poem, I said I forgive them. I had said like 1,000 times in order to for me to believe it.
Yeah.
But I forgave him. And I haven't seen my biological father in what's this 2025, so about 15 years, 14 years now, I think. About that long, about yeah, over a decade, about 14 years now. Which honestly, I don't regret it because I'm actually glad he's not in my life, if I'm going to be honest. It might be hurtful, but if he was still in my life, I wouldn't be talking to you right now. I
Yeah.
would probably be in jail,
Right.
or I would probably hell, even worse, I'd probably be dead if I'm going to be honest,
Mm-hmm.
because he enabled me and just he didn't teach me anything. But my mother put a strict parenting on me, letting me know, don't do this,
Mm-hmm.
don't go down this route.
Yeah, your mom had to play both roles, the
Literally,
mom, the loving, tender mom, and the I'm
yeah,
gonna put a boot in your you know what
yeah,
kind of dad, yeah.
yeah. And I remember my mom one time said she didn't want to have a son. And I didn't ask what she meant by that. I just took it the wrong way and just I got angry,
Mm-hmm.
of course, until we had a deep conversation. She actually explained what she meant by she didn't want to have a son. She was saying she didn't want to have a son with the man she was with
Mm.
because she knew from the beginning she was going to have to raise me by herself. And she was terrified that she would do a horrible job of raising a boy as a woman raising a son by herself. So she was freaking terrified. When
Yeah,
I tell you,
I can.
I broke that day, and I had to ask for her forgiveness 1,000 times because I put her through hell. But it's the fact that she never gave up on me, and I'm a better man today than I was back then.
Well,
And I
yeah,
legit,
that's
I
awesome.
owe my mom everything because one, I would probably be a dumbass idiot right now if my biological father was around and if my mother did not have restrictions on me. And she also said the way she taught me and my sister, she told us teaches us this way because she didn't want us growing up when like she grew up.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, wow. Like
Yeah,
wow. But yeah.
that's I mean, that's good stuff. Kudos to your mom. I mean, it takes a very strong person to take and have to be both parents, and it'd be hard for a mother trying to teach the things that the father would actually take and teach the son. Um, yeah, that's tough, but you know. Your mom probably, I don't know, she realizes what she did by making you sit in that room and write that stuff out because that started, even though you didn't realize it then, that started something. The universe was working with you there, brother,
Yes,
because
sir.
she put you right on that path and it wasn't even for that reason, you know what I mean? It was for a completely different reason, but
Oh yeah.
man, that's yeah, and that's kind of the same with, I wanted to be in radio, didn't have the money to do all the training, so I went to the podcast. Then I'm like, man, everybody tells me I got a pretty decent voice. What about voiceovers? Maybe I could do that. Okay.
I did my first voice acting gig last year actually.
Really? Hell yeah.
Yeah, I did a DBS Films movie. That was my first voice acting thing. I never thought I even wanted to do that either.
Yeah. I mean,
But it was so much fun doing it, and I was like, dude,
yeah,
I actually hear my voice on a movie when I saw
right?
the movie. And I was like, dude, you know what? I was like, if I ever become an actor, I would want to be a voice actor or a creature actor because for some reason I want to play a leprechaun or this any type of demon character.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, because one, somehow I end up scaring my sister without trying. So I have that skill of a scare actor. And two, I just want to feel how that makeup feels. Like I want to get, I would gladly sit in that chair for, I don't know, I don't care if it's 6 hours. I was gladly sit in that chair and just feel how that process go because I am so
Mm.
fascinated about it.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm very horror fantasy fan. I was like, I will play a leprechaun, I will play a clown, I will play a random chupacabra. I don't care. Sit me in that chair and put whatever makeup you want. You just tell me how you want the movements to be. You just train me how you want me to move my body a certain way. I don't care. I want to do it, and I'm going to do it someday. When the time comes, I'm going to freaking do it. And and especially, I'm a really big fan of the guy who plays Gollum
Mhm.
and Caesar from Planet of the Apes, and watching the behind the scenes of how they move their bodies and how they. I was like, dude, I am so fascinated about that.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like, I want to get into that. And when I and from like when my writing, I want to grow from being a writer to a producer to a potential director, but also I can be a feature actor. So that's all of my goals. I'm like, I'm doing the writing part. Bro, I am doing the producing. I'm doing the producing part too because I'm not just publishing my own stuff. I'm publishing other people's stuff too. So I'm up to the producer part so far,
awesome.
and I love photography. I'm starting my photography brand as well. So I'm studying cameras, like getting the angles and how to get the picture good. And all my artist who does my comics is also a photo editor, so I already got the editor part who can edit the photos for me. So that takes pressure off me. I just shot it, sent it to her, boom.
That's
Well, I got
awesome.
two. Actually, I got two. So since if one not available, I can go to the other. So I already got the team right there.
That's awesome.
And I was like, it's like God is just positioning me to already be ready for the next level. And it's like,
Yeah.
dude, this is coming faster than I expected. Um, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
I started being guest on podcasts in 2024. That's when I started getting into podcasting by being guest on a lot of podcasts. And I started my own podcast back in August of this year. Oh, yeah, back in August of this year. And I was hesitant. Uh, I was very hesitant. I'm like, huh? I was like, my voice is naturally low, and I'm still an introvert. So how am I going to host a show?
Right,
It's like,
right.
you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna do it anyway. Never know. And I did it, and dude, I've been having a freaking blast since then. And I make I, I made a simple post on Facebook saying I have slots open if you want to come to my show. I was blasted with comments and people saying like you're a great host. I would love to be on your show. It's like, dude, I love your personality. I would love to talk to you. You're a very chill dude. I was like, I must be doing something right because I was not expecting to be that booked so fast because I'm already booked out to April. It's like, wow, this
That's
is
great.
interesting.
Yeah. I
I was
mean,
like,
that
wow.
stuff it moves, so quick. I did a few voiceover gigs for some indie horror movies. And if I knew then what I know now, I wouldn't believe it because that led to a small acting role.
Hmm.
That led to a supporting role. I just got done filming my first lead,
Yo, what? Let's freaking go.
and that was the fourth movie I've done,
Dude,
and I got a lead within 2.5, 3 years since I started. There's people out there in
wow.
the indie field that's been at it for 5 to 10 years, if not longer, never had a lead role. I got another lead role coming up about late spring of next year. I got a
Heck
couple
yes.
small projects that I'm doing in January. This thing is coming at me. This train is coming at me full speed,
Heck yes.
and
That's freaking amazing.
would I ever in a million years imagine wanting to be an actor was never on my list.
Hmm.
Now, yes, I've said, man, that'd be cool to be a killer in a horror movie,
It really would though.
The
I want to
silent
play a
Michael
villain.
Myers type
Yes.
dude. That would be
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I feel like playing a villain would be so much more fun than playing the hero.
Absolutely,
That's so much more fun.
absolutely. And, like yourself, I was always, from the time that I was probably 10, 11 years old, I could sit and watch hours and hours and hours of how they make movies, the behind the scenes, how they do the special effects.
Yes.
Absolutely loved it. As a kid, absolutely love it now, and now I get to see it happen, you
Hmm.
know? So yeah, my story has a lot of low points, but and your story as well. A lot of us have stories that have some really dark times, times that we should have never crawled out of. But, you know, viewers have been paying attention, and I'm sure you got some smart viewers out there that are. You've heard, how where you've come, from your dark times. Now you're writing, now you're a business owner, now you're this, now you're that. There is light at the end of the tunnel. I was on the verge. There was two times where I should not have walked away my own hand. As a small child going through, divorce with my parents and just everything, as a lot of us, deal with. And here I am, I white knuckled through a lot of situations. As cliche as it sounds, we've made it through 100% of our worst days.
Hmm.
100% of the days we thought we were never going to get up and be anything. And we had those dark thoughts, like you said you would have. And I had those dark thoughts, and a lot of other people have. But we held on. You only got to go one day. You only got to go till tomorrow. Just make it till tomorrow, and let's see what happens then. Don't worry about the future. That can overwhelm you. But there's a little silver lining, because there's a lot of horrible things that we had to go through. But here we are. Here we
Yeah.
are doing things that we now love. We didn't
Hmm.
know we liked it before,
Oh
but we
yeah.
kept
Oh yeah.
going and we
Oh
found
yeah.
out. I look at movie posters that's coming out, or that came out for the film I just did. Movie poster with me on it.
Hmm.
Absolutely surreal. I've never taken any kind of acting classes. I took drama in like ninth or 10th grade.
That's technically acting versus drama, but
Yeah, but that was it. That was it. I just went in there and just pretended I was 10 years old, like little boys do. They go out, pretend they're in army, but cops and robbers, cowboys
yeah.
and Indians, all that kind of stuff. I
Oh
just,
yeah.
okay,
Oh
well, I'm
yeah.
10 years old again. I'll pretend I'm doing this. And it works. Everybody's like, dude, you killed it. And I'm like, what? Why does everybody say this is hard? I didn't want to say that, but I'm like, oh, okay. Well, that was nothing. I should have it made with this acting stuff. So, you know, people with, what can be debilitating mental illnesses, because you can have, like I have major depressive disorder. That can render me incapacitated, at times. I'm just laying in bed. I don't want to move,
Yeah.
but we've made it through, all of them days. We are capable of being, rehabilitated, but in a sense, I guess we can
Hmm.
manage these things, and it is really, it's becoming increasingly more difficult to manage these things. There's not very good preventative measures. There's 1 in 6 youth in this country that suffers from a mental illness. Over half of that 1 in 6, over half of them cannot get preventive measures in mental health. That's a
Wow.
lot of kids, you know. The stats are unbelievable. Just in my state of Ohio alone, um, I think there's 5 suicides a day.
Oh my God.
Just in Ohio. They haven't
Mm.
completed, obviously, the stats for this year, but here in Ohio, I think it was right around between 1,300 and 1,700 suicides so far this year.
My Lord. Um,
Unbelievable. A lot of them, this is the heartbreaker, Kevin. A lot of them are between the ages of 10 and 13 or 10 and
no.
15. That age, that age demographic is starting to go on the rise. It's like, why are 10 and 11-year-olds doing this? What's the problem here? Is it environmental? Is it parental? Is it lack of effective care? Which I know that's part of it.
Oh, that's definitely part of it.
That's
Yeah.
why that's the system's broken. We need to start treating mental health like we do physical health. It's not treated the same, even though they interact. If your mental health is screwed up, guess what? You're going to have aches and pains. The stress, you're going to develop certain things, illnesses. If you're in chronic pain, and I have chronic pain, that can mess with your mental health. You get depressed. You can't do what you used to do. You're always hurting. That plays a toll on you too. They work hand in hand, but yet they're not treated the same. They're not, nobody shames somebody with cancer. Okay. People get shamed for having a mental disorder. And people also, this kind of goes towards a stigma. You'll get shamed. You'll get told, oh, it's just psychosomatic. It's all in your head. Yeah, of course it is. I could have told you it's all up here. You tell somebody with asthma, oh, it's just all in your lungs. It's about the same thing. So
Yeah. Literally.
I
Literally.
I forgot where I was going with that. I think I had a good point. I do this all the time, man. I start talking
Oh,
about this
trust me,
and
I
my
understand.
head just all these little tidbits are flying
Yeah.
into my head. But
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Trust me, I understand more than you know.
Yeah, people after seeing me sometimes they're probably like, "How does this guy make it through a podcast? He can barely speak a sentence without forgetting something." No, but it's yeah, I have no idea where I was going, but anyway, mental health
Yeah,
system.
it happens.
Yeah, it's mental health system we need a huge overhaul. Now, just like
Yeah.
you with, wanting to help the community and having mentors push you in that direction, what can us with mental illness and mental health advocates, what can we do? Yes, you can go on social media. You can put out educational pages, websites. Just starting conversation on social media is fine. But there's always a
Yeah, well,
but. Un
that's how I started was doing podcasting. But not everyone can do podcasting. But
Exactly.
what I would say what my leadership camp taught us at Bridge Builders, uh, don't just do social media, but also get out there in the world yourself.
Yes.
Like I mentioned earlier, is how like the spread of kindness. Let's get out there and like help somebody that you can see that they need it. Respectfully, walk up to them, and say, do you need some help? Would you like some help?
Mm-hmm.
Or say, I would love to help you if you need it. I'm right here with you. You're not alone. It's just as
Yep.
simple as that.
It really is.
Like make sure you're calm, collected, and not like bomb rushing them because
Yeah.
they were freaked out. But just calmly walk up to them, say, "Hey, Mr. or Miss, would you like some help? Because I can see that you're struggling a bit and you're alone, and I don't want you to go to your place by yourself or going to wherever you're going by yourself without
Mhm.
some assistance.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and also do community events like clean up the beach or clean up the community. Go pick up some garbage and help because people are ridiculous throwing garbage on the grounds for no freaking reason.
Yep.
I was like, nature is freaking beautiful, but we keep tarnishing it, throwing these waste on the ground for no freaking reason, and not, and you're
Mm.
poisoning the
Yeah.
animals that lives in the ground and in the water. And heck, you're also poisoning the humans that drink the water. So
Right, right.
I was like, so that's like the biggest thing I can really say to people to do is like get out in the community. Don't be scared to do it, but, like, but also be smart about it too. Don't just do it just to like try to get attention or just like I'm gonna actually do it with your heart. And I say it's okay to film it just like to bring awareness to it, but as long as like you're actually trying to bring awareness to it, not try to become popular or something. I don't if or
Yeah,
become an
there was
influencer.
a lot of that going
Yeah,
on TikTok a
yeah.
while back. People saying,
Uh,
"Oh, I
and
got DID,
the,
dissociative
yeah,
identity disorder. I got Tourette's," and a lot of them they were called out. They were proven to be just
exactly,
out there for clout and people paying
exactly.
them and all
And
this.
speaking of TikTok, and a TikToker I really actually love, his name Josh. What he supports local businesses while feeding the homeless people. Like something like that, I really love and I really want to do someday. It's like supporting a local business, buying food for homeless people, like buying clothing, or all the above for homeless people, and just making sure they're good. I might not be able to buy you a house, but I want to at least make sure you're fed and like
Yeah,
that you're
oh,
clothed and
absolutely.
that you're warm, especially in the winter season, because oof, Jesus. It hurts my heart that these people are out here with no home and no family to take care of them or help them out. And I was
Yeah,
like, the government don't even care to even help. I'm just like, that's why I'm like, I'm not a political person. I hate politics altogether. And I'm just always, I'm like, get out there yourself. It's like I'm like, why are you trusting the government so much? They're not gonna do it. They're just getting paychecks from our taxes.
yeah, yeah.
I was like, we
Basically,
need to. So I was like, as a mental health advocate myself, I was like, we need to get out there and help each other and actually be human beings for once. I was like, I don't care if you're Republican, I don't care if you're Democrat. Like, it's really ridiculous how people are going back and forth arguing like that. My point is more important than yours. I'm like, who gives a crap?
yeah, right.
I was like, who gives a freaking crap? I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican. If you and like, if you're not doing anything on either side. I was like, you're just arguing with each other. I was like, you're not doing anything to make America better at all. You're just arguing,
Hmm.
talking about this and that. And I
Yeah,
was like, oh, sweet Jesus. I was like, if politics is your only personality, shut the fuck up.
yeah.
Shut up.
I don't need to
Just
hear it.
shut up. Just
You're
I'm like,
right.
you have no type of life if politics is your only personality. I see comments from left to right. It was like, oh, it's liberals are evil and yada yada yada. I'm like, if you vote Democrat, you hate America, or vice versa. I'm like, if you're Republican, I'm like, you both hate America because y'all keep being worshiping a political party that ain't doing nothing on either side.
No, yeah,
I was like,
that's all kind of a divide
y'all
and
left it, like
conquer,
y'all left
man.
and right. I'm forward. I
Yeah.
was like, I'm forward. I was like,
Right,
I was like,
right.
I'm like, both sides hate America because y'all, the only thing y'all doing is bickering like little children. Ain't bringing no change whatsoever. And
Yeah.
then we have a president that's legit making fun of a man's death, talking about that he died from Donald Trump sent or so, I don't know what the
Yeah,
crap he said.
yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, what?
Yep, this
I
is
don't
a
care what kind of party he was a part of, but this is a man's death we're talking about. Him and his wife was murdered by their son, and you want to make fun of it?
yeah,
And this is the president, yet y'all say that's a God's man?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
what?
I know it's laughable, it really is.
And that's why I always try so hard not to make any type of political post on my Facebook because I know there's a lot of MAGAs that I'm friends with on Facebook, and then there's a lot of Democrats I'm friends on Facebook. I was like, you know what? Nope. I'm not gonna get into this. I'm just gonna let y'all do what y'all do, and I'm just gonna watch and just eat popcorn while I'm creating comics.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. The show has
um,
started.
yeah, literally. I was like, that was a time I did troll people on in the comments on certain posts. I did, but I've been doing my best to hold back this time.
Well, that's
But
good. All
it
you can do
I've
is try, man.
and the comments of the responses I'll be getting back when I make a small comment, I'm like, dang, you got triggered that fast. I was like,
Oh, it
dude, I
don't
only
take a
just said a
lot.
simple comment.
Yeah, no, it doesn't
I was
take
like, Jesus.
a
And
lot.
like And like one time, I made a comment and said we need to get rid of both parties because neither side is helping. And then somebody responds to me disrespectfully. He said, "With that, it's that mindset. That's why we're so effed up." I was like, "No, we're effed up because you idiots are worshiping a party and not helping anybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're worshiping one side and not hearing the other side, and you're just bickering to about uh your 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 points don't matter, but mine does." And it's like, and then one
And
side
we're the
saying that
one that's mentally ill.
right. And then one side is like liberals are the violent ones. We ain't nothing like them. I said, but you're the same person that legit just said that you threaten that you want to threat the Democratic politician because they because you claim that they made fun of Charlie Kirk still, but you're making fun of this director and his wife though by his son. It's like you sure you're not the same as them?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
And I'm just like, y'all say y'all not the same, but y'all legit the exact same. Because I see conservatives say they're not violent, that Democrats or like liberals or whatever the title they are. I don't know. I get confused.
Yeah.
Whatever they are today, say the liberals are violent ones, and we don't cause violence. And then I see Democrats bring up the January 6th. That was a confirm. I was like, well, that was conservatives, but I'm pretty sure that was some Democrats in there too. So, and then I was like, oh, good Lord Jesus. I was like, you guys are literally tit for tat. Y'all both childish, and y'all both ain't doing nothing for America.
Yeah.
I was
No.
like, it's a mental headache just looking at both sides.
No, it really is. You know,
And I was like,
you had mentioned going and hitting the streets in your community. And that's definitely
and that's the other thing. You have to be careful of hitting the streets because, like I said, people are crazy today. So that's the
yes.
other thing. You have to be very strategic in
Mm-hmm.
doing it. I'm not telling you just to go out there like going out there like right now. I said no. You have to plan it. Be very strategic. Make sure you have security because you please have some good security and just make sure you have good people around you that actually
Yeah.
want to help the community and not those that want to be like these political weirdos that are
Yeah,
just gonna threaten you.
you can use
So,
kind of maybe the same strategy as people would for a political deal. You know, you can do something as simple and benign as handing out little information.
mhm.
Flyers. I seen a guy who was he was standing there, he had a blindfold on, and he had a sign that said, if you're struggling with your mental health, give me a hug. And he had a
A simple
blindfold.
gesture like that.
Yeah, he had a
Yeah,
blindfold on because he doesn't need to see the person. You know why? Because color don't matter, gender don't matter, blinded to all of that. And people, would come up and just
and
give him a
actually
hug.
hugged him.
And he'd be like, what's going on? You okay? And people would stand there and they would start crying. They would tell him. And that's really all you need to do. That's one thing that I'm going to try and I'm going to do. It's little things like that. People are afraid of being shamed by society, by their families. Going back to the 70s and 80s. I call it the John Wayne syndrome. Everybody, all the men had to be tough, and you
Right.
stuff
Yeah.
it down. You be a
Yeah.
man, rub some dirt on or whatever. Uh,
Yeah.
and guess what? Hey, we got blood pumping through our veins too. We have, a lot of the same things that women do. Uh, we have mental health issues just like anybody else, and we shouldn't
Exactly.
be, shamed and, oh, well, you're weak. Let me tell you something. Some of the strongest people I know fight battles up here. They're some of the strongest people I know. Try fighting yourself to keep you from taking your own life. When you have to fight that voice in your head, there's nobody stronger, in my opinion. So men out there, if you're watching, don't be ashamed. Please take that first step. You're not weak. Um, you need help just like everybody else. You deal with stress, you deal with depression, you deal with all that. And if you're in crisis, 988 is always there.
Mhm.
You can text, you can call. Um, you know, there's resources now that there wasn't when I was a kid, and I really wish there was. I wish there was a 988 back then. It could have saved me a lot of bloodshed, I guess.
Mhm.
But, you know, it's hard to keep your head up when, you know, when your head don't want to be up. I guess that's about the only way I can put it. It's hard to dig yourself out. The it depends on, what you're diagnosed with. Some diagnoses are harder to deal
Yeah.
with than others, but it doesn't matter. Everybody says we're in the same boat. No, we're not. We're in the
Like,
same ocean, but we are not in the
not the
same boat.
same boat.
Some people have yachts, some people have rowboats,
Mhm.
but we're in the same ocean. We're not all in the same boat. Um,
Exactly.
and some of us are struggling to get to shore. We don't want to drown, you know. And that's why I stressed in the beginning with the holidays coming up. Don't force yourself. You
Exactly.
know, don't force yourself. Take that time. Walk outside if that's what you need. Go sit in your car if you're at, families. Take yourself out of it. There's breathing exercises you can do. Breathe in through your nose, hold it for 4 seconds, breathe out through your mouth for 4 seconds. Breathe in for 4 seconds, hold it, breathe out. These things will keep you more grounded. If your anxiety is picking up, I think it's the rule of five or something. You name five things. You pick out
Yeah, I
like
know. Yep, I know what you're talking
five
about. Yeah.
colors, five things of what
Yeah.
color they are, and you go through that. And what
Yeah.
that does is it gets you thinking about something else, which
Mhm.
then in turn eases the anxiety. So if you don't want to take yourself completely out of all the festivities, and I don't think none of us really do, we all want to spend that time with family. I got a grandson. I want to spend that time with him. And I don't want my mental health to be a problem. And if you're in the same ocean or you're sharing a boat with me, you may want to try some of these grounding techniques, mindfulness, staying in the present. Don't get too far ahead. Don't get too far behind you. Right now, this is the only thing we can affect right this second. And then it's gone. And then it's here, So that's all you can take and do. It's just like with recovering from, alcoholism and quitting drinking. They say one day at a time. That's very true, as cliche as it is, but it also works for mental health. One day, just make it through today. We'll worry about tomorrow when we cross that bridge. Just worry about today. That's all you
Exactly.
got to worry about.
Exactly.
Um, but yeah, so it is gonna be hard for some people, but I got faith. If you're watching, I'm proud of you. You're gonna do just fine. And if you don't, pull somebody off to the side, do some breathing techniques. Don't be ashamed. Hey, I gotta remove myself. I gotta get myself together. Don't be ashamed to do that. Walk your
Heck yeah.
happy
It's
little butt
boundaries.
into the other room and
It's
take
like,
care of yourself.
heck yeah, boundaries. It's always boundaries. You have to
You
make some
gotta have,
boundaries.
yeah, you gotta have boundaries. I don't, family members can be toxic too.
Yeah,
And
it's like, yeah.
so I think we probably all have that one toxic family member.
I have a whole side of the family I don't talk to anymore. So yes.
Damn, he's saying I got the whole side of my family toxic.
I'm not exaggerating. It's literally my sister, my mother, my grandmother, and me. We all just cut off from them.
Yeah, I don't
It's
have
like
many.
the only one we actually like talk to is my grandmother's sister, who's up the street from us because she's sick.
Mm,
So my grandma go out there and check, make sure she's good because the people that live there are toxic and just ridiculous. And
yeah,
we have more of a heart for her our auntie than her own son and her own grandbabies. And it's like
that's sad.
it's yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah. But before we hop off, I got inspired to do this. I keep forgetting to do it on the other show, but I would do it here mostly though, because it's more about mental health. I got this thing where I got inspired by another podcaster where he asked his guests, "What are like three things you're thankful for,
Okay.
especially it's holiday season?"
Okay.
So what's like your top three things that you're very thankful for and grateful for?
Um, Actually, if you'd have asked me this probably about 10 years ago, I wouldn't have an answer. Because
Wow, wow,
I was in a very bad place then. But today I can answer that. I'm very thankful for my grandson. He has, in his own little way, and he doesn't know it, he has helped me tremendously. And doesn't even realize it just by being him. He's pulled me out of some depressive moments, so I'm very thankful for him. Yes, an obvious answer would be my family. My family, even though, my wife and my kids, even though they have a hard time understanding and being able to deal with some of the things that come with borderline and major depressive disorder and all those things that come along with me. Um, Even though they don't understand how to deal with it, they've never left my side and they've always had faith in me. So I got to be thankful for that. And I guess along with that, I'm thankful for myself being as resilient as I am. I'm
oh yeah,
thankful for my resilience. I never thought I had it in me. I still have days where I don't know if I got it in me, but I always have it in me. And don't for and the listener, don't forget, if you ever feel like you just don't have it in you, you probably felt like that before and you made it through 100% of those times. And don't forget, you are
you
enough.
are enough. Yes, sir.
I don't care what anybody says about you. And again, if you haven't heard it, I'm proud of you.
Heck yeah.
And that's something else, real quick. There's little acts of kindness. There's people that I'll see pop up in my news feed and they're like, "Oh, I got like X amount of years sober and blah blah blah." Don't know these people from Adam. I'm not even sure how they're on my friends list. I don't know. But I'll see it, and even if they're not on my friends list and something pops up, I'll I'll tell them, "I'm proud of you." I have no idea who these people are. Tell somebody you're proud of them. Um, Tell somebody, you love them. Don't make it creepy, but, you can always tell somebody,
Yeah.
"I love you, man. I'm proud of you." Um, yeah, don't make it creepy. And one last thing that I must stress, please, maybe a little more this time of year because of the holidays. Nice hat, by the way. Um, but
It's, yeah, my sister let me borrow it. It's hers. She's a teacher, so she's on break, so she let me borrow this.
nice. But any other time, mental health awareness should not be just a month or two out of the year. It should be
Thank you.
365 days out of the
Yes.
year. You can have
Yes.
all
Thank
that
you.
other stuff. They can have their month if they want. Mental health should be all year round. Um, Make sure, check on your friends. If you know one of your friends, if you have people that you love and care about, and you know that they deal with some issues and they have a tendency to get down, it only takes a second to hit somebody up on Messenger or text somebody and say, "Hey, how you been? How you doing?" Something that
Exactly.
simple.
Yep.
Something that simple,
Oh yeah.
could really make somebody's day. They may feel like they're alone, and all of a sudden you're sending them a message, "Hey, I was thinking about you. How you doing?" That could pull I know that's pulled me out of a depressive state where I'm feeling like
Yeah.
nobody cares about me, like, "Where's all my friends? Where's all
Yeah.
these Facebook friends at?" And as soon as I say that, I'll get a message, "Bing!" "Oh, look at" you know, check on your friends. You never know, how that situation could turn out, man. They could be in a really dark place, and you could have it's not even exaggeration, you could have saved someone's life
Yep.
just by
Simple as
reaching
that.
out.
Simple as that.
Yeah, just by reaching out. So please check on your friends, tell them you're proud of them, even if they didn't do anything. What do I do? You made it another day.
Yes,
You
you did.
didn't hurt yourself, you made it another day, and that's
Yes, you
something
did.
to be proud of yourself for.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Like for me, one, I'm proud. I mean, I'm thankful to be alive, and I'm thankful to God. I always have to thank God because if it wasn't for Him, like I said, I wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't be talking to you comfortably. I, I don't know where the hell I would be. I think God don't have to
Yeah.
find that out.
Right, right, yeah.
My sisters, my grandmother, my mother, my family, man, family is they always hold me down. They always make sure they keep me humble, and I am forever
It's your
grateful.
rock, yeah, for a lot of us, yeah,
Oh
our
yeah,
families are rock, and a lot of people don't have that family or that close
yeah,
family, this time of year.
yeah.
So, you may have
And
some friends that are like that, so check on them, see how they're doing, have a little video call with them on Christmas,
exactly,
something,
yeah.
you know?
And three, I'm thankful for you for coming on, man,
No, I
and
appreciate you, and
sharing your
yeah,
story.
I'm glad you hit me up. It didn't take long at all. I posted that, and about 30 minutes later, you popped on. Boom! Hey, I got a podcast. All right, well, let's go.
Yeah,
Um,
I think I was gonna comment on your post. I was like, wait, I'm friends with them. I could just message them.
yeah, yeah.
I was like, I could just message them. But
But
yeah,
yeah,
but
I appreciate the platform, the airtime, to get, and talk a little bit about, some mental health, some helping people out,
oh yeah, oh yeah.
if you really want to, with mental health, if you really want to go at it full force and try, you can go to your city council. Go to your city council and say, hey, we need a little bit of mental health reform here in this city. Here are the stats. Okay, we shouldn't be losing this many people in our community. What can we do? Why isn't there more treatment centers around? Why isn't there this or that? If you want to get that deep, there you go. But otherwise,
Actually, that's actually interesting because I'm actually planning on starting my own nonprofit
mm-hmm,
someday. I don't know when I'm going to actually officially launch it. I'm taking my time with it, learning the process, everything. But it's basically gonna be like my leadership kind of nonprofit, like my like bridge builders, because they inspired me. I wanted to create my own type of nonprofit organization.
mm-hmm,
That's kind because I have a degree in human services, so I'm using that to I'm using my degree to turn into a business thing. And so my nonprofit is gonna be like it's gonna be like a social work thing, but it's not gonna be in an office like that's
mm-hmm,
talking to each other.
sure.
It's gonna be like Bridge Builders where we have games where we learn how to build as a team and actually talk to each other and just get our mind off something and get our
Nobody does
hands.
that anymore.
Yeah, and so like
Everybody's looking at the screen. Nobody knows how to
uh,
communicate with people face to
that's
face.
the other thing at the bridge where they have us. They always say a requirement: do not bring your phones. If, they will take
Yeah,
your phone away if you bring it with you.
yeah, don't.
They want
Exactly.
because they teach us to talk to people
Mhm.
and to get out there. And so that's why I want to start my own nonprofit like that and like to basically I'm and potentially partner with them and so we can both go together go together.
There you go.
And I was like, I'm not gonna be a competition with you. I'm gonna be a partner with you because I love how you guys do this and I want to expand with you guys and I want to do my own business and like learn from you guys and also expand together. Because who knows, with us together we can expand to other parts of our state and potentially worldwide. Who knows what could happen?
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so so yeah, that's I'm planning. That's one of my other things. I have my hat in or my foot in or however you say
Nice.
it.
Yeah, one I
So
do have one more quick thing to mention. I am involved with a the beginning stages of a TV series. The pilot is already wrote. It's called The Facility, and it is based on mental health. One of the co-creators, Deborah Ortiz. I talked to her on my little podcast, and I have talked to her before, and she wants me on board. It's a very interesting way she's doing this. We've talked about having mental illness and getting, me getting into acting, you getting into writing. With this story is about a journalist who is looking for that next big story. He's really wanting that big story to boom, just put him through the roof. His mother is schizophrenic. So, with the help of his mother, he kind of embeds himself into a facility. And he gets more than he's bargaining for with his story because he, well, uncovers some of the horrible truths of the mental health system and how broken it is. It's gonna be a dramedy. It's gonna be drama. It's gonna have some comedy in it because, hey, let's face it, us having mental health issues, we're a funny bunch. I'm sorry. We're
you're
a
not
funny
wrong.
bunch.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Now here's the interesting part. You don't need any professional acting. You can be first timers, but the cast, they want all of the cast to have a mental disorder. We have therapists. We already have 2 trauma therapists that are going to be on set at all times. And you know why? Who, let's just say for me, who can portray somebody with borderline personality disorder better than somebody with a borderline personality disorder? I'm tired of seeing the media portray some of us in such a bad light. I watch a lot of true crime, and there's true crime shows. This guy went in and murdered, his family and the neighbor's cat, and he's got borderline personality disorder. Oh, so now everybody thinks that we're going to kill the neighbor's cat now? Come on. That's not what it's like. This will spin, and we're talking about anxiety, depression. I've been going through some of the my friends I've met in mental health groups. Hey, have you ever wanted to act? What are you diagnosed with? Here's your chance to do something. And you never know. Maybe it's something you want to do. First time, no experience necessary. If you're comfortable in front of the camera, if that's something you want to do, there's your opportunity. We do have a Facebook page, just simply The Facility TV series, I think, or The Series. If you just put in The Facility, you'll see it. So if anybody wants to go over there, check that out, follow them. Like I said, we're in the very beginning stages, starting to put together some of the some of the crew. Like I said, if you do have a mental disability or mental illness, and you would like to act, but you always thought that your mental illness wouldn't allow you. It's not, yeah, you can't use that as an excuse now because there is a project that's just for you and you never know what could happen. That's how I got into acting. Yeah, I'll act. Have you ever experienced? Nope. I'm 50 some years old. I ain't getting any younger. Where's the script? That's about how I
Right.
went for it. So, yes, the facility, check it out on the Facebook page. Give us a follow. It's going to take some time. Like I said, the pilot is written. Now it's a matter of getting funds and putting the rest of the cast and crew together. So it's going to be a fun time. Like I said, it's going to be a dramedy. There's going to be some heartbreaking moments. There's going to be some moments you're laughing so hard, your side hurts. But it's going to shed a very truthful light on the mental health system and how broken it is, and hopefully hit some of that stigma in there. So, but thank you. I've babbled long enough. Thank you so much again for your time, your platform. And these people are right. You are a great host. You're very easy to talk to.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And is there where can we follow you personally if you'd like to share that?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I'm on Instagram. Everything is Otis B Dreds, kind of how it's spelled down there. No A in Dreads. I don't really go over there a whole lot. I'm mainly, you can catch me on the book. Um,
Facebook.
yeah, on the book of faces. You can catch me over there. Same thing, Otis B Dreds. Um, I do have a mental health page that is kind of associated with the podcast. That is Dread, just like down there, no A. Dread the Stigma. That is over there. Trying to think. I think that may be about it. And for any for all the viewers, I want to offer my ears, man. If you ever need somebody to talk to, I'm only a message away. Hit me up. We'll chat. Even if I gotta sit there and listen to you rant, you know the saying. I'd rather listen to you at 3 o'clock
Exactly.
in the morning than go to your funeral. So hit
Exactly.
somebody up. It don't have to be me, but just hit somebody up at 988 if you're in a crisis. Thank you, Kevin.
And I am Kevin Davis. You can find me on Instagram at I am Kevin Davis Official. Facebook, I am Kevin Davis CEO, and also Spotify at this podcast, Kevysie Fate Podcast, and YouTube at Kevysie Entertainment and Kevysie.com. I have a lot of stuff. I am a professional, so yes, I have to put all that out. But this has been a great episode with Mr. Otis Dreds.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for coming on, brother.
Thank you.
And this has been a new episode of Kevysie Fate Podcast, where we all talk about mental health. If you're comfortable, come on. Like, subscribe, comment, and like Mr. Otis said, tell somebody you're proud of them. And I'm proud of you, Mr. Otis, by the way, before you get off. And just continue to be yourself. Get out there, hug somebody if they consent first. Make sure be respectful first, and just put a smile with people's faces. You never know what a simple smile could could make beat somebody.
Yeah.
And yeah, and this has been Kevysie Fate. Catch you guys later.